What's up, guys? Welcome to my replay viewers. Thank you guys so much for jumping in and checking out my broadcast. Sorry I missed you live, but so glad you guys took some time to check it out. What is up to my live crew this morning? Great to see you all this morning. So glad to have you here. I appreciate y'all coming in to hang out with me on this Wednesday morning. Brian, what's up, man? Adam, good morning to you. Tracy, good morning to you. Jamie, what's going on, girl? Thanks for coming in. Alexis, good morning. Aya, good morning. Have not seen you in a while. Appreciate you being here, and good morning to you. We're going to talk about income producing activities today. All right. So yesterday, just a quick FYI, Jackie, good morning. Yesterday, I talked about how to give your business a cash infusion. That was a great broadcast, by the way. If you missed that one, I would love for you to check it out. I had actually 3 different people that messaged me by the end of the day yesterday that said they took action on exactly what I told them to do yesterday and started getting immediate leads for cash generating clients within 24-hour period of taking action on that broadcast. So challenge you to watch that one if you missed that one. Excellent broadcast. My mission was just to give you some quick ideas of how you can generate some quick cash in your business. It was a really good one. But in my broadcast yesterday, I mentioned something that was an income producing activity for me. And I got a message from Adam about this later in the day. He said, Justin, do you have a training on income producing activities? He's like, because based upon what you said today, I think I've got it wrong. And I think, honestly, I think a lot of people don't really understand all that really goes into what income producing activities really are. And I'm going to challenge you to ask you, if I was to talk to you face to face this morning, if I said, what are your key income producing activities and what percentage of your time do you spend every week on those activities? Most people can't answer that question. A lot of people can't even tell me what their income producing activities are. But even if you know what your income producing activities are, a lot of people have no idea how much time they actually spend on them. So we're going to unpack this morning. I'm going to share with you kind of my perspective around what are key income producing activities. I'm going to give you the 3 essential income producing activities that I believe apply to every single business and must be a non-negotiable for you, no matter who you are, no matter what you do. So that is our topic and conversation for today. Cheers and good morning to you. I hope your morning beverage is delicious. Grab your pen and paper, and I'll be right back with you. Hang tight. All right, y'all. Justin Kaplan Pro is my name. JustinKaplanPro.com is my website. I'm a startup business mentor and a branding strategist that specializes in helping startup entrepreneurs just like you turn your passion, your gifting, your ideas into a profitable and scalable brand, leveraging the power of social media marketing. If you are new to me, welcome. No matter what platform you're watching on this morning or this afternoon or this evening, whether you're on my podcast or YouTube or wherever you are, I'm so glad you're here. If you want to drop me a comment, if it happens to be your first time listening or watching, I would love to know that you were here, and my crew would love to make you feel welcome. So let us know if it is your first time, and would love to give you a shout out and some props. All right. Tasha, what's up, girl? Thanks for coming in. Kat, great morning to you. Excited to have you all here with me this morning. Let's talk about income producing activities. So again, I just said as I was introducing this topic today that I think, you know, if I was to have a conversation with you and ask you one-on-one right to your face, what are your key income producing activities in your business and how much time do you spend on those activities every single week? Most people cannot answer that question. And I've actually had this conversation with so many people, and it really stops usually at what are your key income producing activities. People usually go straight to, if I said to you, what are your key income producing activities? People usually go right off the bat to, well, doing marketing, doing posts, connecting to people, creating content. They usually go to the things that you would immediately think are just generating leads. And while that's true, good morning, Dr. Sandra. It's nice to see you, buddy. Good morning to you. While that's true, that's very small portion of that. There's so much more that goes into what I would refer to as key income producing activities. But then the real question comes into, if I'm having that conversation, I've had this multiple times with clients and people that are not clients, just trying to help them out. and ask them, what are your key income producing activities? And people will give me some good answers of some of the things that they believe are income generators. And so let me clarify this too. When I call this an income producing activity, I also sometimes refer to this as results producing activities, because not every single thing that you actually do in your business will actually generate income. Some cases, it'll just lead to results that will eventually generate income, right? But those activities are still key, because results come in a variety of different ways, and it's not always income, right? So we might call these income producing activities, or we might call them results producing activities. But regardless, I'll have a conversation with someone and ask them what those key activities are for them in their business, and they might give you some good answers. And I'll be like, all right, cool, those are good answers. So tell me, in the last 7 days, how much time, or let's say how many hours, have you spent focusing and working on just those key activities? And you'd be surprised to hear the answers that I get to that question. Because when you really sit and think about it, some people are like, I don't know. Well, if you were to guess how, I don't know. If you were to guess how many hours, and they might say, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours. Okay. In an entire week. Like, what are you doing that is so important that you are not spending time on your key results producing activities? I've had people that have sat in silence when I ask that question and be like, in the last 7 days, I haven't spent any time on any of those activities. Zero. These are your key activities, the fundamentals of your business. This is what drives business traffic, drives volume, drives income. And you spent 0 hours on those things in the last week. And that's common. And I think a lot of it is common because a lot of people just don't understand or haven't gotten really crystal clear on exactly what those key income producing activities actually are. All right. So that's why we're talking about this morning. I'm going to go through what I believe are the 3 different levels, 3 key activities that I believe apply to every single business. And hopefully I can give you some clarity on this topic this morning and give you some thoughts to think about, and hopefully give you some wisdom, so you can be like, these are my activities and this is what I need to do to implement and be consistent with making sure my focus lands on these activities in a good chunk of my week every single week. All right. Now, again, there are plenty of everyday tasks for you to do in your business that are important. There's so much in your business, so much about running a business that is important. But does every single thing that you actually do actually generate income? Of course not. Right? Learning to distinguish between what actually makes you money, your income producing activities or results producing activities, and what doesn't, is key to maximizing your earning potential. Because if you don't understand the difference between those two, you can get caught up in a trap of just being busy. All right. So income producing activities, I think, fall into 3 different levels. So let me break these down. Level number 1, the first one is the obvious one. Good morning, Paul. Thanks for coming in, buddy. The obvious one, number 1, is generating revenue, obviously, right? So anything that generates revenue is an income producing activity. So this level includes anything that will bring you new business or it'll help you close existing business. And a lot of people avoid the new business aspect of business, frankly, because it's the toughest part of the job. It really is. There's a great quote by Tim Ferriss, who's the author of the 4-Hour Workweek. And Tim Ferriss says, being busy is a form of laziness. Y'all agree with that? I 100% agree with that. And I completely agree with that people are afraid of doing the tough stuff. They become so busy doing the easy things that they convince themselves that they don't have time for anything else. You wouldn't believe the number of people that I have to coach out of this. Like, what are you working on that for? Like, you're set up to do this. You're set up to go out and put yourself out there. Why are you working on that? Why did you take that onto your plate? Why are you focusing on this when everything you need is right here? I know why. I know why, because that's hard and that's easy. And it's real easy being busy. It's real easy doing the easy stuff that keeps you so busy. That way you can be like, oh, man, Justin had such a busy week last week. I had so much going on. And I didn't have a chance to create content. I didn't have a chance to follow up with my leads. I didn't have a chance to get that freemium done that I said I was going to create. I didn't have a chance to follow up on that email because I had all this stuff. All that stuff is not key income producing activities. The easy stuff is not where you grow your business. Somebody put that in the chat stream for me, will you please? The easy stuff is not where you grow your business. You have to push yourself outside of where you feel comfortable and get into the things that actually require action, right? That's where growth takes place. That's where results happen. That's where income comes in. It's the hard stuff. And if you get in this mindset where the only things you ever want to do are easy, you will continually ignore the most important aspects of your business, and your business will not grow. And it will become incredibly frustrating for you. All right, so no more excuses. It's time to get down to business. Now, practical application. I'm going to give you practical application on each one of these, all right? So practical application for me, things that I consider generating revenue or this level one of key income producing activities for me would be things like creating content like this that helps me generate leads, cultivating leads, as I talked about yesterday, where I keep track of all the new connections that I make and I follow up with those people. I check in with those people. I invest in those people. Again, I've shared this before. I'll share it again. I believe wholeheartedly that I need to be investing in my audience long before I can expect them to invest in me. Stacy, great one and two. Thanks for coming in. Again, I need to be investing in my audience long before I can expect them to invest in me. It doesn't mean that I need to be investing my cash in you. It means I need to be investing my time in you, my energy in you, my resources in you, my wisdom in you, my knowledge. I need to be investing in you, taking time to build relationship with you, build respect with you, build rapport with you. All right. So task again for me on this level one, generating leads, cultivating those leads, setting up new appointments, new phone calls, existing phone calls to maintain existing clients, asking for referrals, following up with those referrals, time on the phone with clients or leads is an income producing activity. Honestly, I consider windshield time for me an income producing activity because my mind like kicks into high gear behind a windshield. Anybody else like that? Like when you're driving, especially if I'm the only one in the car, and I'm driving somewhere, that time behind the windshield is like focus time for me. I don't know why, but my brain just kicks into gear. And so I plan and I brainstorm and I strategize. Sometimes I have so much on my mind, I'll just click on the memos app of my phone while I'm driving and click on the mic and just talk to myself while I'm driving because it's just stuff just flows in my mind. So windshield time for me can be an income producing activity. Sometimes when I need to clear my head and I need to just actually think out loud and just brainstorm, sometimes I'll get out of my office and go jump in my truck and just go for a drive because that works for me. All right. Also doing things like hosting workshops or doing 5-day challenges. That's a lot of work, but it is an income producing activity for me because it generates leads. It generates connections. It gives me the opportunity to invest in people. So the way I look at it, y'all, again, if you want someone to invest in you, invest in them. I believe any opportunity that I have to invest in someone else, to pour time into someone else, pour energy into someone else, to build someone else up, to help them with something, that is an income producing activity for me. Because as I said yesterday, I believe wholeheartedly your business will grow at the same pace at which you are able to develop and maintain new relationships. So anytime I have an opportunity to invest and grow and build new relationships, I am in turn building my business. All right. So that's number one, is generating revenue. The second level of income producing activities is building relationships. All right. So this level includes retaining or maintaining existing relationships and building new ones. This could mean forming new relationships by reaching out to connect with someone who engaged with your content, which I do all the time. And maybe meeting a new connection for coffee. So maybe you have a new lead or a new connection, someone that you just came across and you find you're in the same local town. You want to meet up for coffee? Just love to talk to you and get to know you. That is an income producing activity. Or maybe you have a current client that you haven't connected with recently. And you're like, you know what, let's meet up for coffee and let's just catch up. And do you have a friend of yours that you could bring along that might be interested in just talking business or hanging out with us or whatever your specialty is? And see if you can get someone you already know to bring someone with them that you don't already know and form a connection that way. Again, like with me, building new relationships comes a lot in the form of doing free content, workshops, challenges, all those things are an excellent way for people to experience me. And when I can have the opportunity for people to experience me, that's going to give me the opportunity to build new connections, right? Listen, this piece also means serving and deepening the relationships you have with your current book of business and your current client list. I'm going to tell you a story real quick that you might get a kick out of, but it was so eye-opening to me. This has been years ago when I worked in corporate business. I remember as I was going to the office every day, there was a McDonald's right at the exit where my office was. And I would usually not stop at that McDonald's for breakfast or for coffee because in the morning, the place was buried. It was just so busy, super, super busy. They had the double lines. It was always full. So I never really tried to get in there because it was just so busy. So I come off the exit to go to my office. It was early in the morning. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, very early. And I had to be at my office at 6 o'clock to unlock the building to let my employees in. And so I'm traveling. And so I pull up and I was early. I was like 20 minutes early. It was like 20 to 6 or something. And I had plenty of time. The office was right around the corner. And I pull up and lo and behold, the McDonald's drive-through line was not busy. And I'm like, right on. I'm going to pull in there and get me a coffee. And I got plenty of time. It's no big deal. So I pull in and I was the only one on the drive-through line. I pull up to the drive-through line, pull up to the little speaker thing. And like, hi, good morning. How can I help you? I'm like, I just need to get a large coffee, please. And they're like, right on. It'll be, $2 or whatever. Pull up to the front window or first window. I'm like, all right. So I pull up to the first window and there's no one at the window. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they said pull up to the first window. And I'm like, well, wait. Nothing. I'm like looking in there, nothing. And so I wait and I wait and I wait. And I'm like, well, maybe they said second window. So I pull up to the second window. No one at the second window either. And I can see people all hustling around inside. I'm like, what's going on here? So eventually I knock on the window and someone comes up the window. Like they go to the window, they open the window, they go, yeah. I'm like, yeah, yourself. I just ordered, because I didn't say that. I'm like, I just ordered a coffee and I thought they said pull up to the front window, but nobody's at the front window. Like, oh, I can take a payment here. So I give them my card and they pay me and they give my card back. I said, it'll be right out. I said, all right, cool. So they shut the window again, out of sight. Everybody's all running around in there. And like the coffee machine's like right there. I can see the coffee machine. All I gotta do is grab a cup, fill it up. Here you go. Have a great day. And I'm like, whatever. So I'm waiting. And then like, I don't even know how long it was, a couple of minutes. I'm waiting there, and I'm still the only one in line. And there's another lady who I've never seen before comes up to the window, and she opens the window. She's like, sir, would you be willing to pull up to the first wait spot up here? We'll have that coffee out to you in just a second. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Do I need to get out of the way of the tour bus that's here? Like I'm the only one here. Why am I pulling up to the next spot? I'm like, and I'm looking at the coffee machine. No one's getting the coffee. I'm like, okay. So I pull up and I sit in the wait line. And I'm like, what is going on? Literally, I sat in this line for like 15 minutes. And I was the only one there. And it almost made me late to work. I'm like, no, I got to go because I've got to freaking get over to the office and let the employees in by 6 o'clock. So now I'm in a rush. And eventually they bring out my coffee. My coffee's fine. I take off and I'm like, this is the thing. This is what was going on in there. They're opened the drive-through of that thing. I think it was like a 24-hour drive-through, or the drive-through stays open all night or opens really, really early. But the lobby opened at 6. So what was going on in there? What was going on in there was they were so focused inside on getting whatever they had to do to get ready for the lobby business. They were ignoring the one client that they currently had there paying them money and needing service in the drive-thru. And this is where I want to make this point to you this morning is I want you to recognize that you can't get so focused on generating new connections or getting new business or new clients that you forget to serve the people that are right in front of you. Even if they're not, even for you guys, some of you guys, you may not have people that are paying you yet. You may not have clients yet. But if you are creating content consistently, you're putting yourself out there consistently, you have people who are following you. You have people who are engaging with you. You have people who are showing up in your lives. Do not ignore those connections simply because you're trying to constantly find new ones or constantly get new leads or new clients or new whatever. Be sure that your focus is balanced with those things. So again, huge piece of building relationships in my second income producing activity is maintaining and deepening and serving your current list of connections, as well as finding new ones and generating new ones. It's got to be a balance between those two, because you can lose the old ones in search of the new ones. I've had people tell me, "Man, Justin, I've been doing lives for forever, and I go live and I only get like 1 or 2 people in the room." I'm like, "So what? What's your problem?" "Well, how do I get more people to come in?" I'm like, your focus should not be on how do you get more people. Your focus should be on, because this is the thing. If I've got 2 people watching me right now, if I got 2 people, that's 2 humans in this world that have lives. They have needs. They have things that they're doing in their world. They have priorities. They have stuff. Just like me, they got a whole world of things going on in the world, and they stop their world right now to sit here and listen to me. Their focus is 100% on me. Respect that, for goodness sake, people. If you go live, I don't care if you go live for a month straight and you only have 1 person that comes in. Serve that 1 person as if they are the only person in the room, because guess what? They are the only person in the room, but you have no idea what's going on with that person. And what happens if you serve that person so well that eventually they're like, I need to hire you. And I've actually had this experience where I've had a broadcast where I've had, this is back Periscope days before I was multi-streaming. So I'm on 5 different networks right now, and we got multiple people on all these different networks that we're juggling. But when I used to go live on Periscope, I was just Periscope. And if I was ever doing a broadcast where I would have 1 person in the room, I would speak to that person as if him and I were having a one-on-one conversation. I'd ask them questions. We'd talk about them. It'd be like a coaching session right there live, because that person is paying me currently their time and attention. Respect that. Be aware of that every single opportunity that you have to connect and speak to someone, and you have someone's time and you have someone's attention, is so valuable. Respect that and be a good steward of it. All right. So again, practical application for me for the building relationship piece is my focus is on building relationships in 2 primary buckets: serving my current clients with excellence day in, day out, while also making real and genuine connections with new contacts every single day. And my mission ever since I started broadcasting has been to connect to at least 1 new person every single day. And that's my mission. Some days it doesn't happen, but I'm going to say probably 90% of the time I find a way to connect to at least 1 new person that I don't know every single day. All right. And it's a mission. You don't do that unless it's intentional, because it's not easy. It's not easy. You can go sun up to sundown, blink, the day's over, and like, man, I didn't connect to anybody today. Well, I'll find someone tomorrow. And tomorrow, blink, blink, day's over. And I'm like, well, whatever. You keep doing that, you'll go months without connecting new people. And if someone asks me, Justin, how was your business in the month of June of 2021? I'm not pulling out my income summary. I'm not going to my social to look at how many posts I've made or how many likes I've gotten or how many shares I've gotten or how many views I've gotten. I go to my lead list and I look at, in the month of June, I made 36 new connections in the month of June. These are brand new people that before the month of June, I didn't know them and they didn't know me. I had an excellent month in June because I got 32 new connections in my network. Or I'm sorry, 36 new connections in my network in the month of June. That's how I measure my business growth. I measure my business growth in people, because business is about people. Okay. Let's go to number 3, and then I'm going to get you out of here. All right. Number 3, level 3 of income producing activities is saving time. Saving time. Saving time can be broken up into 3 buckets, in my opinion. And remember this, remember this, remember this, remember this, remember this. If you are a business owner, time equals money. Your time is the most valuable thing that you have. And it's the only thing you can't get back. When you are self-employed, your time becomes so valuable. And where and how you spend your time is essential to be aware of and to monitor and to manage. All right. So I separate the way I manage my time and in this level 3 of income producing activity in 3 buckets: delegation, planning, and self-improvement. You can write those down if you're taking notes. Delegation, planning, and self-improvement. Delegation is tough, right? They'll agree with that. And I think for some people it might come more naturally than others, but I think the thing is as business owners or as entrepreneurs, I think entrepreneurs naturally have a do-it-yourselfer kind of spirit. Like, how many of y'all are do-it-yourselfers, where you just, if there's a problem, you're going to solve it. You're gonna get out there, you're gonna fix it. You're the one that you'll do things the way you do them. The challenge that I've had as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, yeah, I'm a bit of a do-it-yourselfer, and I'll figure things out if I don't know how to do something. But I think the bigger thing is I think we're often afraid to give up our work because we're certain that we can do it faster and better than anyone else, right? Like, that's the problem that I have in a lot of cases when I try to delegate something is when I try to delegate something to certain people, I have a hard time finding someone that will execute at the level that I need it to be executed at. And so I'm like, I forget, I'll just do it myself. And that's a challenge. But this is the thing. If you're wasting your time doing simple tasks that could be done by someone else, you're robbing yourself of the opportunity to do the things that could actually make you money, right? Not delegating the things that are not your skill set is costing you time and money. I'm going to say that again. Not delegating the things that are not your skill set are costing you time and money. Learning how to delegate things off your plate can save you time and focus on the bigger picture and on the better things that are actually your sweet spot and what will actually produce for you. All right. So delegation is huge. You've got to find a way to delegate. If you're trying to do everything yourself and you're not delegating anything to anyone, that is a huge opportunity for you to adjust your key income producing activities right now. Okay. The second piece, planning. All right. So again, 3 buckets of saving time: delegation, planning, and self-improvement. So planning is essential. Planning ahead is crucial to saving yourself valuable time. I'm a huge advocate of putting a standing appointment on your calendar at the same time at the end of every single week to plan out your upcoming week. I will never go into a new week not being fully planned and prepared for what is going to go on that week. All right. Planning out your upcoming week allows you to see what you need to accomplish, what you need to get done, how you're going to get it done. It's like a budget, you know, like if you don't have some level of a budget for your finances and your money just goes in and you just swipe your card until all of a sudden you get a decline or you check your balance like, oops, I'm out of money. Your finances are probably in complete chaos, a complete state of disarray. The whole point of a budget for money is basically you spend your money on paper before you actually spend your money. And the closer you get to your budget as you work throughout the actual spending of your money, the better shape you're going to be at the end of that budget period, right? If you don't have a budget or an intent for how much you're going to spend on groceries, you will overspend on groceries. If you don't have a budget for how much you're going to spend on entertainment or eating out, you will overspend on entertainment and eating out. If you don't have a budget to set aside time to save or to invest, you will not save and invest. I mean, it just doesn't happen. So if you have a budget, the idea of a budget is taking, this is how much I have coming in. These are my essentials, my non-negotiables, the things that have to go out. This is how I want to divvy up the excess. This is where I want to save. This is where I want to invest. This is where I want to do this, this, and this. This is a vacation that's coming up, whatever. You budget it and you spend your money on paper before you actually spend your money. Your time should go the exact same way. And this is kind of the same perspective and point of planning your week ahead. Basically, I budget my upcoming week's amount of time before I actually get into that week. I budget how I'm going to spend my time, where I'm going to spend my time, what's going to be done with that time. Because again, my time is the most valuable thing that I have. So if I'm willing to take the time to budget out all my money and my finances, why would I not take time to budget my time? Y'all listen. Try this. I'm serious. If you take time and at the end of every single week, I do it on Fridays, Friday afternoons. I give myself a minimum of 3 hours. Sometimes it goes over, but sometimes 3 hours is enough. I plan out my entire upcoming week. on Friday afternoons. By the end of day Friday, my week is thoroughly planned out. I'm done. I'm ready to go. I clean up my office. I organize everything, and then I hang up my business on Friday night so I can go in and enjoy my weekend. Listen, let me tell you something. So many people hate Mondays, man. Hate Mondays. One of the number one reasons why people hate Mondays is because they leave themselves a mess on Friday. And so you go into your Monday having to look backwards and clean up the mess that you left for yourself rather than look forward as to what you actually need to go do this upcoming week. Stop leaving yourself a hot, busted mess on Friday, and you'll stop hating Mondays quite so much. Do your work. Clean up your mess. Make the phone call. Send the email. Do the proposal. Finish the job. Clean up your office. Plan your week ahead. Do that on Friday. I can tell you, I guarantee you, it'll completely change the productivity you have and the level of work you were able to accomplish in your upcoming new week, the better you get at Fridays. Monday morning begins Friday night. Monday morning begins Friday night. All right. So that planning is essential. All right. That's the second piece of saving time. The third piece of saving time is self-improvement. All right. Self-improvement. Self-improvement is one of the most important aspects and one of the most important income producing activities you can do. All right. And I think a lot of people don't consider this. They don't consider that the areas and ways that I'm working to grow and build myself are actually income producing activities. It's essential. All right. So for instance, listening to this broadcast right now is an income producing activity. You're welcome. Everybody can put thanks, Justin, in the chat stream. But it is. You're learning something. Because again, my mission, as I always say with my broadcast, my mission is to get you thinking differently, acting differently, and believing differently than you would have if you had not otherwise spent time with me this morning. So through this conversation and content today, I can shift your thinking, shift your perspective, and getting you recognized that your income producing activities lack definement, and you actually are going to shift your schedule and shift the way you approach your business and start actually putting focus where focus needs to be put. I'm making an impact on you. That's an income producing activity for you, and that's a way that I'm able to invest in you. Right? So that's huge. So listening to this broadcast, listening to blogs, reading books, podcasts, whatever it is that you're doing to advance your skill and improve you. You're becoming better. You're becoming smarter. You're becoming quicker, right? And all of those things will lead to increased sales, all right? So self-improvement is a key income-producing activity. And a lot of people, again, spend so much time being busy that they don't make time for the things that are going to help them be as effective and as profitable as possible, all right? So just kind of tie a bow on this whole thing, prioritize your income producing activities. Think about every single thing that you do in a given week. And for some of you guys may need to keep a log. I've challenged some people to do this before. They're like, I don't know, Justin, how much time I'm spending on X. I'm like, oh, log it at the end of every single day. I mean, what's today? Wednesday? So what? Start today. Go through your day and just keep track of how much time you spent on content creation, how much time you spent on lead generation, how much time you spent on paperwork, how much time you spent on posting on social media, how much time you spent on working on actual projects that need to be worked on, how much time you spent on whatever, exercise, whatever. Make a list, keep a log, and try to do that for 7 days. And then go through and look at it and be like, I'm spending X amount of time doing this, X amount of time doing that, X amount of time doing this, X amount of time doing that. And then you can look at it and say, which of these what am I actually doing that are my key income producing activities? Your goal is to have as many level one and level 2 activities as possible. So level 1 is generating revenue activities, things like creating content, cultivating leads, referrals, phone time, talking to people, interacting with people. All those things are essential. Building relationships is that second piece. So you want to spend as many hours, as much time as possible on the level 1 and the level 2 activities as possible. If you're like, well, Justin, man, self-improvement is so important to me. That's been a key income producing activity for me for forever. I'm like, all right, well, and self-improvement's awesome. But if you've got level 3 self-improvement with very little or no level 1 and 2, You're broke, probably, with a whole bunch of good information in your head. I don't mean to be harsh, but let me be harsh. All right. You got to get some 1 and 2 in your life. All right. And the 1 and 2 is probably scary for you. It probably sounds like work, or probably sounds like, man, that's harder. I'm outside my comfort zone. I don't care. I'm not a make you feel comfortable coach. I'm a business coach, and you can't run a business if you're not making money. So you got to get out there and put yourself out there. So I will always tell you what I believe you need to hear, and that's not always what you want to hear. Your goal is to have as many level 1 and level 2 activities as possible. Commit to eliminating or delegating as many non-income producing activities as you can. Then focus on using all your available time that you've saved to do those activities that will generate revenue and will build relationships. All right. That's what I got for you today. Until next time, go sell some stuff, y'all. Go make some money. I appreciate your time and attention. I know 36 minutes of your time is so valuable. So I appreciate you. Hope you still love me, even though I was swinging some punches and throwing some shoes this morning. All right. But I appreciate you. Y'all are awesome. Have an intentional Wednesday, guys. Be intentional with your time. Be intentional with that talent that you have. Get about your goals today. And I will see you guys all around the web. All right. Take care. God bless. I'll see you guys later.